Welcome to the Gimmick Guide, brought to you by merchandise brand Fully Gimmicked. This video series is intended to delve into ideas and potential solutions for professional wrestlers looking to go a little deeper in terms of character development in their performances. So in this first video, we're going to start off with a very common question by a lot of wrestlers who are just starting to get into the business. What is a gimmick and why would I need it? Well, in the world of professional wrestling, there are two major paths you can travel in order to be noticed by fans and companies alike. Number one, be exceedingly skilled in ring. Or number two, have an interesting and engaging character. Now let's explore the first option, not involving any kind of character creation. So what does that involve exactly? Well, in order to make the most out of that potential option, what you need to do is very, very simple. You need to be ridiculously good in ring. I mean, ridiculously good. You need to be original, you need to be inventive, you need to be impressive, be it feats of strength, feats of agility. You have to be your own best. This is not an easy or quick road to travel. It takes years to perfect certain techniques, sometimes a lifetime, but it can be done. Wrestlers who didn't need a particular character in order to be noticed: Ricochet, Masato Tanaka, Zack Sabre Jr., Dean Malenko. Now, did they have nicknames or something marketable? Sure, but were they really portraying a character, or did they let their skill set do the talking? More likely the skill set. Okay, that seems pretty straightforward. Maybe as a new wrestler coming into this, you want to try that approach, or maybe you've been wrestling for quite some time and you've kind of settled into that approach. That's perfectly fine. However, are you the Ricochet of insert style of wrestling? Probably not. So, you have to push yourself that much harder in order to achieve that level of greatness and skill so that it can carry you to being noticed. Because if you just decide that you're going to be pretty good in the ring, but not pursue anything else in order to grab attention to yourself, then you're going to flounder. So let's talk about the other path here, namely creating a character for pro wrestling. Now, we're in the middle of a big wrestling boom right now, but that does not mean that we're still in 1986. So when I say create a character, it doesn't mean you have to go become some giant cartoon character or a joke or a goof. It just means having an interesting look, an interesting style, a marketability, a catchphrase, things that will stay with people long after your match is over. Let me give you an example of what not having a character means. Not having a character would be coming out in the first pair of tights that you could buy with your name scribbled across the back, coming out to some generic SoundCloud rapper or some butt rock theme, and just expecting that Vince McMahon is going to suddenly hot dial you out of nowhere because, well, I finished wrestling school. It's not enough to really get noticed. And especially for young folk coming into the world of professional wrestling as performers, having an interesting character can help to cover some of that initial vanilla moveset that everyone's going to come out of wrestling school with. It's just natural. Everyone's going to have the same basic structure of how to wrestle. So by having an interesting character, even if you're still doing most of the same things your classmates were doing, you will still stand out in the eyes of the crowd. Now, I don't have to go over the countless names of wrestlers who decided to really lean into a gimmick and as such grew in popularity. I mean, that's kind of what brought wrestling to the party in the first place. But what this is all meaning, what the whole purpose of this program is going to be, is the idea to help walk you through different options and variations on how to start building a character, how to start developing a real image and persona that you can put forth in the ring that in turn is going to make people want to buy merchandise of yours and chant your name. Because as much as you may be physically gifted and that wrestling may be the number one thing you want to do with your life, you have to make things easier for the crowd to connect to so that they're not lost when you come down to the ring. You know, a great man once told me, named John Davis, that when you come down to the ring in your entrance, that is a trailer for the movie that is your match. And if your trailer is no good, it is going to be that much more difficult to get people to care about your movie. That's what this program's about. That's what the Gimmick Guide is about. We're going to help you to brainstorm, develop your own ideas to make a more accessible character for the masses. So, as I said, of course, this first video is brought to you by the merchandise brand Fully Gimmicked. You can follow them in various social medias if you'd like to buy your own wrestling gear, or if you're a wrestler starting out and want to get merchandise made, you can contact them. Now, this series is going to go on over several weeks and months, and we're going to delve into lots of specifics on how to build a character, where to grab inspiration from, what to rip off, etc., etc. However, we will also be launching a more personalized one-on-one system where you will be able to talk with our brain trust, and we can really develop and see what you've already got. If you're coming to the table with something, you're kind of knocking around in your head, you're not quite sure yet, we would love to evolve that with you. If you're coming to us absolutely fresh, you go, I don't know where to start, we're here to help. So all that said, for everybody here at the Gimmick Guide, I'm Zach Romero, and we'll see you next time.